meaning of go through is to experience something. For example, I went through a terrible time. When we say I went through a terrible time, what we mean? We mean that I experienced some very bad time in my life, or I experienced some very bad time at one point of my life. So I went through a terrible time. Grow up. When we say grow up, we mean to become an adult. For example, I grew up in London. I grew up in Tirana. I grew up in Albania, or I grew up in another country. So it's the period from childhood until we became adults. So the period since birth to adulthood, it's the period when we grow up. As we said before, we can say I grew up in London, or I grew up in Tirana. Keep up with. Keep up with is another inseparable phrasal verb, which means to stay on the same level. For example, she can't keep up with the other students. What we mean when we say keep up with or stay on the same level, she can't stay on the same level with the other students. So we mean that that particular student is having troubles to stay up with to stay on the same level with other students. She can't keep up with other students. Live on. Live on means to exist. So someone that lives on exists or supports oneself financially. For example, can you live on $500 a month? So in this exercise, in this example, we have live on, meaning that how can you support yourself on $500 a month? So that's the question. Can you live on $500 a month, or can you support yourself on $500 a month? The next inseparable phrasal verb is to look after. To look after means to supervise or to watch someone. For example, will you look after the boys while I'm out? The meaning is here, will you supervise the boys while I'm out? Move out, on the other hand, means to move or to relocate. When is he moving out of his apartment? So the question is, when is he relocating? The next inseparable phrasal verb is put up with. To put up with something or to put up with someone means to tolerate something. For example, I can't put up with Tom another moment. The meaning here is that I cannot tolerate Tom another moment. Run into, on the other side, means to meet accidentally. For example, I ran into an old friend yesterday. So, I ran into an old friend yesterday means that I met accidentally an old friend of mine. And when that happened yesterday. So, meet accidentally or run into. Stay up. What stay up means? Stay up means to remain awake. For example, if we want to say, how late did you stay up last night? The question here is how long you remained awake last night, until what time you didn't sleep last night. So how late did you stay up last night means that how long you remained awake last night. To take care of. it means to watch or to supervise. For example, will you take care of my flowers while I'm gone? So, since I'll be gone for a certain time, I'm asking someone to watch or to supervise my flowers. Will you take care of my flowers while I'm gone? So let's do some practice. As I told you before, I talked about the meaning of different phrasal verbs. So what we'll do in this short exercise is we'll practice by replacing the underlined verbs with phrasal verbs. So here we'll see the sentence and the phrasal verbs, the verb, here the underlined verb will be replaced with a phrasal verb. For example, that child doesn't resemble either of her parents. So how can we replace the underlined word, in this case resemble, with a phrasal verb? Okay, let's think about it for a few minutes. And of course this phrasal verb is a verb that we talked before, so we explained the meaning of the phrasal verb, meaning resemble. So what do we have for the answer here? Okay, the answer is that child doesn't look like her parents. So resemble means look like. So that child doesn't resemble either of her parents, or that child doesn't look like her parents. The next question. When Tom and Maria go out in the evening, a babysitter watches the children. For example, we have here watches. How can we replace the verb watches with a phrasal verb? What do you think will be the phrasal verb that will replace the verb watches in this sentence? So, when Tom and Maria go out in the evening, a babysitter watches the children. So let's think for a few minutes about how can we replace the verb watches with something else. And let's see the correct answer of that. When Tom and Maria go out in the evening, a babysitter looks after the children. So watches can be replaced by looks after. So when Tom and Maria go out in the evening, a babysitter looks after the children. The next question. When are you going to return? So the underlined verb here is return. So the question again is, how can we replace the underlined verb return with a phrasal verb, and the meaning of the sentence will be still the same? So do you have an answer? Okay, let's see what's the correct answer here. Return means to come back. So when are you going to return has the same meaning as when are you going to come back. So return means to come back. Good. You did a good job so far. Okay, the next sentence is, my roommate and I remain awake late talking on weekend nights. So remain awake can be replaced by a phrasal verb, and the meaning of this sentence can be the same. So let's think about what phrasal verb can replace remain awake. and the meaning of the sentence will be still the same. So, what's your answer? Okay, that's a correct answer then. My roommate and I stay up late talking on weekend nights. So, remain awake means the same like stay up. For example, my roommate and I stay up late talking on weekend nights. Let's see the next example. Yesterday, I accidentally met my college roommate on the street. So, accidentally met can be replaced by something else, and we can have the same meaning for this sentence. Okay, let's think together for a few seconds and see what do you think is the phrasal verb that can replace accidentally meet. Okay, so let's see the correct answer here. Yesterday, I ran into my college roommate on the street. So, run into means that I accidentally met. So, the meaning of run into is the same like accidentally met. Yesterday, I ran into my college roommate on the street. Next. I need to review my notes before the test tomorrow. So the underlined word here is review. So we can replace review with another phrasal verb and the meaning of this sentence will be the same. So let's think together again for a few more minutes and see how can we replace the underlined word review with something else. So what's the meaning of review? So how we think about it? Okay, let's think review. What review means? I need to review my notes before the test tomorrow. So let's see the meaning of the word review. Since review means the same as go over, we can say, I need to go over my notes before the test tomorrow. So review